Facts First presents. 3 years after two children mysteriously vanished, the police came to their desperate father's door. Harry Speath fell in love with a nurse named Jane Adare. The couple was very happy. They decided to expand their family, and soon Serena and Thomas were born. Harry was a hands-on father, and things were going great for a while. Soon things began to fall apart, though, when Jane lost interest in the marriage. When they both decided that the marriage couldn't be saved, they separated. In October of 2014, the divorce was final, and Jane received a settlement of $275,000. They agreed to share custody of their children. They wanted things to be as amicable as possible. December 5, 2015 started out as a typical day. It was Harry's weekend with the kids, and he had a great time with his children. At 5 p.m., Jane came to pick the kids up. He had no idea it would be the last time that he would hug his children goodbye for quite a while. Thomas must have sensed something was off, though. When his mother came to pick him up, he didn't want to leave with her. Stoppers NSW believes that he had a sixth sense that something was about to come between him and his dad. According to Harry, Thomas claimed he was sick. He was crying and holding on to Harry and didn't want to leave with his mother. When both of the kids began to cry, Harry tried to comfort them by saying they'd see him in just a few days. Well, a few days later, Harry went to his children's school in Carindale, which is an area of Brisbane. It was his day to pick up the kids and take them to his house. When he arrived at the school, though, he was shocked to hear his children hadn't been to school that day, or the day before. They hadn't been there for several days. Harry went right to the police. At first, they didn't think too much about it, and it wasn't until February 17, 2015 that the official search for his children began. The Australian police, they weren't sure that Harry's children were even in the country anymore. As far as he knew, his kids didn't have passports, so he couldn't figure out how they could have left the country. Harry knew he needed someone to help. The police only had so many resources, so he went to a fellow Australian named Cole Chapman who specialized in retrieving abducted children. Harry was sure that Jane's family knew where she and the children were. He was sure because before the children disappeared, Jane was living with her mother. Harry followed up on every lead that he found. One of the leads even took him to Brazil. When he didn't find his children in Brazil, he followed another lead that took him to London. He knew his ex-wife held a British passport, so he decided to search there. The next place Harry traveled was to New Zealand. He knew Jane had friends in a city there called Christchurch. This place was renowned for its English heritage. Harry knew that his wife was a huge fan of English culture, so he thought that it'd be a great place to check. Harry even spoke to his children through the local news. He wanted them to know their daddy loves them. He was hoping that they would hear his message and know that he has never stopped thinking about them. Harry was tired of the dead-end leads and wild goose chases, but he refused to give up. He decided to establish a Facebook page to spread the word about his search. Harry was very worried about Thomas and Serena. He knew that they'd never registered for school, which meant that they weren't getting a good education. Their medical cards were never used either, and that worried Harry because Serena had severe allergies. In 2017, American artists made some sketches to show how the kids might look today. They distributed the photos in hopes that somebody would recognize Harry's children. 3 years to the day that Serena and Thomas disappeared, he posted it to his Facebook account, and he wrote, "Today I am reflecting on a monumental milestone in the timeline since the abduction of my children by their mother." He mentioned how he had missed 3 Easters, 3 Father's Days, and 3 Christmases. He discussed how his family missed them and that things would never be right until his children came home to him. A few days after his Facebook post, the Australian federal police officers came to Harry's door. He told them Serena and Thomas were alive and that they'd been located in the Sunshine Coast. They were about 100 miles away from their last known location. Harry's suspicions were correct. Jane had abducted them. It was 3 years after the 2 children mysteriously vanished that police came to their desperate father's door. They found his children, and their children were coming home to him. His ex-wife was now in jail preparing for her court date for kidnapping. He updated his Facebook page, saying his children were coming home and that was the best Christmas present ever. Finally, his children were home with him, and he says that he'll hug them tight every day and won't ever let them go. Help us spread the word about Facts First by clicking that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos.